I'm just going to do a bit of a walk around here for you guys that wanted to see kind of what I've got in this thing too. So we'll start at the front, kind of work our way around. Front ski, typical timber sled. I did make quite a few modifications to the bottom of the ski. You can see on the outside here, I've got round style carbides. So I've got 2 carbides in the center and 1 on each side. I just found that on hard pack trail, I mean, this thing runs really good on hard pack trail. So I've heard some other stories about other snow bikes that's a real pig on hard pack. I mean, this thing here, I can do 100 kilometers an hour down a snowmobile trail and I feel totally comfortable going in corners and stuff like that. So I might make some modifications. It steers really easy. I don't gotta manhandle it too much, so I'm pretty happy with that. This front thing here, I already bent this. Yesterday I hit a rock out in a mine, and man, I was going maybe first gear, maybe 30 kilometers an hour, and I slammed myself off this gas tank here so bad that last night I was pissing blood. So I probably got to watch out for that in the future. I'm surprised I didn't bend the forks, but a learning experience, you know, whatever. But the forks are off an Alta Redshift. I think they're the same forks that would come on a KTM Enduro 450. 450 triple clamps off of KTM Motocross. We got some 4-inch handlebar risers, and this is also a KTM handlebar with the KTM handguards too. The headlight bracket, I made that, and the headlight is off of a Honda CRF2 or 450L, I do believe. Picked it up off eBay, pretty inexpensive. It works really good because it has the daytime running lights, and then it has the 4 LEDs that turn on when you want it to, and it's surprisingly bright. Works really good, doesn't fog up on the inside, and was pretty happy with it. So yeah, I made this front shroud. I wasn't sure if this would work. It's kind of a quick thing I built. I'm really unhappy with the shape of the bottom, so I'm going to change that next year. And but surprisingly, people would think it would fill up with snow like immediately. This thing generates so much heat that in 10 seconds, pretty much all of it has melted and it's pretty much clean, sort of thing. Out on the lake here, we have about a foot of snow and about a foot of slush underneath, and you get that wet slush in there and it just melts out. So it works really good. You can see my intakes here. I got frog skin, that works pretty good. And I put these kind of louvers here because a lot of deep snow was coming up and getting sucked. It would suck a nice little pancake of snow to my intake. So yeah, that's working for the time being. But I'm going to do something better there, just because if I go really deep powder, I do have to kind of sweep them off every once in a while. But yeah, the front shroud is kind of big, but it really keeps everything safe, and it works pretty good. I got my shifter here, still hooked up to a quick shifter, so when I'm going down the lake, I can just slam it up and down in gears. No clutch is really good. I do find if I'm on very heavy load, you know, I can't quick shift it. But if I'm just going on the lake and I just want to like really ham on it and go fast that way, I can do that. But if I'm in a really deep snow and I'm putting a lot of power to it, the quick shifter doesn't seem to always work sometimes. It could be snow in the boot too, sort of thing, but it's great not having to use a clutch. This stuff is all steel, pretty heavy. Next year that'll be water jet out of aluminum to lighten it up, because they weigh a couple pounds each, sort of thing. Timber sled kit, pretty standard, haven't changed anything. Made my own strut for it and all the custom exhaust and whatnot. But yeah, this kit's been working pretty good. I did tighten the track a little bit because it was ratcheting, and now it seems to be pretty decent. And man, all of a sudden it's just snowing good, huh? The taillight does work, so I have it hooked up to the timber sled kit. I'm not sure if you can see the taillight activate, so that works really nicely. I got this little exhaust pop down here, and it's nicely out of the way, so I'm not going to smash it off trees and stuff like that. And yeah, as far as the battery, it's just an AGM battery. It seems to hold charge really good. I've never had to boost it yet. Even in the cold, it fires right up. I wasn't sure how lithium ion would be as far as that goes. And running the 0W40 on the motor. And this is a 2019 137 timber sled, and it's a 2019 Tuono factory. Now this did have the active suspension on it, which I did send the ECU to AF1 Racing in Texas, and a fine guy by the name of Ed tuned off of the active suspension for me. So he put the race tune on it and also removed the active suspension because that was giving me quite a few errors. And yeah, other than that, I got to do some fine tuning on it, but overall it works pretty good. I might try to lighten some things up. I have not weighed it yet, but right now it does probably about 120 max, which is not very quick. I mean, for a snow bike, it's pretty quick, but it feels really stable. And so what I'm going to do is next year I'll be putting a smaller gear back here, because I made a large gear back there because I thought it would go way too fast. But I start off in third because first and second are just too slow in many cases. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller, and that'll get her up to, 160, 100 mile an hour would be sweet to get out of it. And it has the power to do it, so that's not a problem. Track run's good, a little loud, but it is a 2.6 lug. Yeah, other than that, this thing runs pretty sweet. All the control works. The cruise control works, which is super badass. And you can change all of your ECU tune, I guess. The 3 options you have between track, race, and sport, I think it would be. But yeah, that's where it is. So I'll try to shoot some more video today of us putting around, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I don't hit another rock, because I don't think my front mount's going to take another bang. And I was wrenching on it with crowbars and stuff like that, trying to get it straight. So you can see it's all bent up from me trying to reef and ram on it. So I'll have to make a stronger one of those. Or maybe I won't, just to save my front forks. I don't know. We'll see. But overall, pretty happy with it. It's not something that you're going to take on long rides. It's more of a, a unique kind of mess around toy, but pretty happy with it. I took it on the lake a little bit, went to the mine, and so I haven't started yet this morning. It'll just be a good cold start. I think it's something like -10, just topped up on fuel, because it is a thirsty little sucker when it comes to fuel. So we'll go ahead and turn her on, and let's see what she does here. So -9 on the dash. I think it was supposed to be -10 today. Probably feels like -16 or something like that, but that's pretty typical. We got our neutral, so we'll see if she fires. Kill switch. There you go. Up pretty quick. It's like really, you might be here for 4 or 5 minutes and it'll be up to 100 degrees. So it doesn't take much for this puppy to get warm. So I haven't had a problem with it starting in the cold. It starts really good. Like the other day it was -20 and she fired right up too. So it as far as tuning goes, it only has that the race tune on it. Nothing special, and it runs really good in the cold. I'm kind of surprised, but it does a good job.